Ladies and gentlemen, we have today with us a very honorable guest who provide his expertise and time whenever needed or required and is requested. We are really thankful that he is here with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause to our guest speaker, Syed Masood Ali Naqvi, partner KPMG, Karachi, Khalid and Company.
The Honorable Chief Guest, Speaker of the Assembly, the other dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great pleasure for me to be here with you to share some of my thoughts on the macroeconomic aspects of the budget. You've heard my younger friend and colleague, Shabba, and he has described in his own candid way various issues which are being faced by the economy, and he's also come up with some solutions which are more practical in nature. And I can vouch that it's not only what he's saying here. He's trying his best to make the contribution which he can as part of the member of the Revenue Advisory Council. I've got allotted 35 minutes and I've tried my best to cover the subject in those 35 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, we talk about the budget and the economic impact on the economics of a country every year. But I think the Finance Minister was right when he was talking about in the Assembly, giving his budget speech. He said that somehow we have given undue importance to the budget as a whole, as budget is not the only instrument or not the only policy framework which brings in the changes in the economic framework or in the overall situation for a common man. It is basically, now it's not the budget which comes up and gives you the increase in prices of the crude oil will be this, or this. It's not the budget and the speech which will tell you that the CNG prices will go up tomorrow by this amount, or the electricity prices are going to be raised the next day of the budget speech. All that, all things are done independently by different regulators and authorities which are in place. And all of those together have an impact on the economy and the common man, which we all should be concerned about. If you look at the figures, and I'll try to just quickly take you through those. These figures I don't think are new to you. You have seen them on every channel. There have been detailed discussions on the aspects by all sort of experts on the economic outlook, the prospects, the impact. Everything has been shared with you. But I would like to just come up with a slide. My request to organizers for next year is, if it is possible, please keep the computer here so that I can just maneuver the way I like the slides and move forward with that, because that's far more comfortable for me to work. Please. Yeah. This is something which you should look at. This is what I presented in seminars last year, and I'm verbatim repeating this particular slide. This is basically what a common man perceives of economic development. What they want is food at affordable prices, health support on efficient basis, housing and shelter, access to utilities, water, power, gas, telephone on consistent basis, on uninterrupted basis at affordable costs. Education, good quality of education at low cost. It should be aligned to the skill sets which are required basically in the marketplace and vocational development demand. The economic development should create employment opportunities, and that's what you need, massive investment in the human capital. Freedom of access to information, value for contribution to federal, provincial and local revenue. This is one of the major excuses, one of the major things which you will talk to anyone. Say, fine, we contribute so much, we give this tax or that tax or that tax. What exactly is the value we are getting out of that? There may be a value, and I'm sure there is a value, but actually we have not been able to convince the common man that there is a need to contribute, and if he contributes, he will get a value in return. That is something which is lacking, and lacking in a big way. Potential for vertical migration in terms of quality of life. So people go up in the income levels, basically, and a mechanism to balance consumptions and savings. And above all, the most important element and component which is required is good governance. This is exactly what a common man will like to see in an economic development discussion. Now, my target today is just briefly to take you through that and see that how the budget or the various policy measures have been able to do anything about it or not. And that will show that how a common man will eventually react to the budget which we are talking about. Next slide, please. What a democratically elected government would like to see as part of a policy measure when their economic managers will sit and try to frame the economic policy. It is the welfare of the people. That is what a politically elected government should be looking at. That is their major focus and concern. The people who elect them should be able to benefit from the policy framework which is coming up. And these are the various drivers of the common man's perception. These are the things which drive the common man's perception. Now, if you look at the next slide, I don't know whether every one of you can see that or not, because there are strong lights which are obstructing the screens as well. But let me briefly take you through. This slide gives you the 2009-2010 budget where it was presented. The government came up and said, these are the objectives of our budget for 2009-2010. The first objective was, and that was the second budget of the democratically elected government, and this is the third one. At that time, the objective laid out was provide protection to poor and vulnerable against the current economic downturn. That was one objective which was laid out, that we should provide protection to poor and vulnerable against the current economic downturn. The second objective which was there was revive manufacturing and industry, especially export-oriented industry. The third objective which was brought about was broaden the tax base instead of overburdening the existing taxpayers. And you've just heard Shabbar saying that there has